awesome sword.
Hello, friends.
Hello, world. Welcome to Masters UK. And I'm Jan. Over to you guys.
I'm Bob.
I was going to say I'm Bob, just to confuse it. I'm Steve.
It work fine. I can't see any of the chat down the side on my screen, but I don't know if anybody's commenting yet. Oh, yeah. Flo's there and Steph's there, just back in time. Lovely.
There you go. Lovely.
Right. So we have, I believe, done the draw just literally this minute because we've been discussing how we're going to present it.
We've been working out how to do it, yeah.
And Steve's also decided that we're not allowed to be tight and make you all wait till the very end to find out who you're playing against. Mainly because it still takes us forever.
Yeah, I want to go to bed.
So, would you like to come up with the first two names on table one, Bob?
Not necessarily table one. We haven't decided who's in table one.
Well, no, we wouldn't get the table numbers
yet. It's been done by the Mantic app, hasn't it? So nobody can blame us for this matchup.
No. So the first one is Ian Sturgess versus Stephanie Berry.
Oh.
All right.
Shall we start with Ian's list?
Okie dokie. So let's put that. Here we go. So I love Ian's list. Like, I am a big fan of this list. I think it's hilarious.
Well, do you want to read it? Shall we show it? Shall we put it at the side?
It's coming. Bear with
It's coming. Okay, here we go. Okay.
So Ian Sturgess's list. It's 1 troop and 3 regiments of Thule. The Thule have all got poison frogs. Do you remember what poison frogs does? I can't remember what poison frogs does. We'll look it up while we're doing it.
It'll be at the bottom.
It doesn't say at the bottom. He's only got the free version. I know, outrageous. Trying to remember. I'm sure someone in the chat can. They're the Masters players. We're just the,
Yeah, we're the dog's bodies.
We're the dog's bodies, right? So they've all got the poison frogs, and they've got a variety of upgrades. So poison frogs, once per game after the unit rolls the damage, before rolling a nerve test, you may choose to give the unit a brutal special rule for the remainder of the turn. That's it. So it's just once per turn brutal. One's got Blood of the Old King for Elite Ambitious. One's got Brew of Strength. One's got Helm of Drunken Ram, so they're very hitty. He's got a regiment of River Guard with javelins and poison frogs again, and fire oil because he's expecting Abyss, I guess. He's got a horde of depth horrors with poison frogs and boots of striding, and then he has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regiments of Tidal Swarm. Nasty chaff, which are extremely difficult.
They've got all the spray stuff as well, haven't they? The knock-and upgrades.
Yeah, tidal spray.
Oh yeah, knock and shepherd. Does that mean they? Oh, that's the. So they all shoot as well.
Yeah,
pretty good. He's got the Kraken upgrade, so he's an upgraded Kraken to Cthulhu the Tidebringer. Who? What does that give him? It gives him Aura of Thunderous Charge 1 for deep ones only, which is, I think, everything. So all of the Thule. So Thunderous Charge 1 Aura from the Kraken. Then he's got an Aquamage with Rising Tides, a Sacred Horn, Veil of Shadows, and Bark Skin. So he's got an Aura of Wild Charge 1 with a Sacred Horn. Onto everything. He's got a Thule Mythicum with a Gnome Glass Shield. It's a knowledgeable upgrade, so he can have Host Shadow Beast 3. So he's not just a Bane Chanter, he's also a melee force with 5 attacks. Oh god, how do you pronounce Kirke?
Yeah, some big frog.
It's a frog. It's Kirke. And he has the Hunter in the Deep rule, which means he gains vicious and double attacks versus large cavalry monsters and titans. He's a nice little lightning bolt hero. And he has a Trident King, which is just is pretty good now, the Trident King, I think. So he's got he's very inspiring. He's taken no commandos, obviously. Crush 1, ensnaring, nimble, regen. So that's Ian's list, and Ian is up against Steph. So let's show.
Did we say how many unit strength and total
how many
units?
is it? You tell me. I can't see.
I've just come out of that one. I've gone to Stephanie's.
It is 16 units and 24 unit strength.
Okay, quite neat match.
So it's a lot of ensnare, a lot of stealthy, a lot of very irritating units that are surprisingly hard to kill, I would say. Yeah. Ensnaring regen 4+ Titans are just horrific. So this is Steph's list. So Steph is definite lock, copy. which I think is probably Steph being hilarious.
Do you want me to do this one?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Okay, so she's using the Varangur, which obviously she was best of race with. She has a regiment of Draugr. We have 3 regiments of Night Raiders, all with wolf handlers, and we've all exchanged their axes for bows. And then we have a Horde of the Fallen, 3 lots of regiments of the Mounted Sons of Korgan, one with Guys of the Deceiver. They've all got Guys of the Deceiver, should I say? I'm trying to remember what that gives them.
Gives you stealthy.
That's the stealthy. Okay. And then we've got the J Boots, which, auto take. Home with the Drunken Ram and the Staying Stone, just to keep them hanging about. We have only 1 swarm of Snow Foxes, but that's not a bad thing. She's still got one to throw away. We have 2 Maguses. One with both with Banechant, one with the Inspiring Talisman. We have Magnilt the Fallen, because it's rude not to. And then we've got 2 Snow Troll Primes and Kufnir. So, yeah, ouch. There's some nasty hitting power in amongst all that. A lot of crushing strength. Quite a bit of regen.
Very punchy.
Very. Do we want some interesting stats while we're looking at things? Because I've got that. So
you're always full of stats.
So over the season 24, Steph attended 11 events, 0 podiums. She used 2 factions of Night Stalkers and the Varangur. She came top player in the Varangur with a win rate of 51.1. That's 24 games out of 47 played, and a kill rate of 50.4, which is
just over half.
Not bad.
Just over half.
Ian, he ranked 13th. Oh, Stephanie ranked 32nd, by the way. Ian ranked 13th. He also used 2 factions, Rankin and Trident Realms. He ended up as the top Trident Realm player. He attended 8 events, 3 podiums, a win rate of 73.5%, which is 25 out of 34 games, and a kill rate of 72%. I just thought I'd throw this stuff in because the Yanks love doing it, and it seems to be like the NFL sort of thing. Scored so many touchdowns and ran so many yards in one season. And I don't know whether it adds to it or not, but it gives you an idea of sort of top trumps, as it were. Who's got the higher kill rates, who wins more games, etc.
So Ian's obviously a veteran player who doesn't really, he'd say, play very seriously anymore.
Oh.
No, he doesn't play that seriously.
He describes himself as a filthy casual. But he's obviously a very good player, very competent. Steph is a newer player, but a very experienced wargamer. I think who's been exploring the Varangur. I'm excited to see what happens. I think it should be a good matchup. It's going to be very punchy. I think the stealth is going to really...
There's one more unit drop for Stephanie over the list that Ian's put in. I've faced Ian. I've never played against Stephanie, but I've met a lot of people that have played, and I've been there while she's playing. I think she'll hold her own here. I'm hoping that they'll pull each other pretty much to pieces, but at the same time, in a very mastersy way. I think they're both very good with the list that they've got.
Steph says, "Can we hear Bob's stats at the end of the match?"
Yeah,
you hear mine if you like. They're garbage.
I'll share my stats out. No problem.
There's a reason we're running it, not playing it.
Yeah, it's not like the secret or anything like that. It's a matter of public record.
We're terrible. Cool. So that should be a fun one. Looking forward to the outcome of that one. Should we move on to matchup number 2?
Matchup number 2 is quintessentially Quayle versus Ben Hampshire.
What's John playing?
John is playing Empire of Dust, and Ben is playing Forces of the Abyss. While we're looking, I shall go through my stat list here. Ben's here. Right. He ranked 14th. He attended 11 events, 4 podiums. He used 3 factions: Halflings, Twilightkin, and Salamanders, which explains why he's using Forces of the Abyss. He has a win ratio of 64.4% and a kill ratio of 57%. And who else is he playing? John Quayle. Let's have a look. John Quayle, he finished 2nd. Attended 5 events, 3 podiums. He used 3 factions: Basilians, Empire of Dust, and Night Stalkers. He's using his Empire of Dust. He achieved a win rate of 84.6, which is 22 out of 26 games, and a kill ratio of 68.6%.
Not dissimilar then in terms of their performance, I'd say.
No.
I've had the pleasure of playing both of these people in the past. I haven't played John this year, but I have played Ben twice, and he has shown me how to play Kings of War. They have shown me how to play Kings of War very, very ably, I would say.
When I first started playing Kings of War, John Quayle was my reward for winning the first game at any tournament I went to. Every time I won a game, my first game at a tournament, I played John afterwards, just to let me know how lucky I'd been in the first game.
You were better than me on that score, because mine was always Tom Robinson.
Oh, I know.
So, John, Bob, do you want to do John's?
Yes, I'll do John's. So, Empire of Dust, he has 3 regiments of mummies, all with the Casket of the Damned. 2 regiments of skeleton warriors, both with the Casket of the Damned. One of them upgraded or downgraded, or whatever you want to call it, to 2-handed weapons, which drops their defense down to 3+ from 4+. A horde of revenants with Casket of the Damned and fire oil for when you're fighting those regeneration guys. 2 regiments of scavengers. They're the flaying swarm dudes, aren't they? Yes. A soul snare, which is pretty standard in an EOD army. 2 undead worms and a monolith. Ahumanite. Or is it Ahumanite? Ammonite, the army standard bearer with Shroud of the Saint for extra heal, with that lovely aura of Strider. Give Strider to the mummies. Excellent. And another unpronounceable Pharaoh on Royal Chariot with Raz the Undying, which is where he passes his weapon skill over to whatever he's fighting in combat with, I believe.
Correct.
And Surge 8. And then a cursed priest, high priest on Royal Chariot with the Crown of the Wizard King for that extra 6-inch range for his heal and surge. Total of 15 units, 27 unit strength.
Nice. This is, and the Casket of the Damned is surge on everything, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Scout? Is it Scout at the beginning?
Sorry, Scout. What did I say? Surge. You know I meant Scout.
Yeah.
Scout on everything.
All his infantry can scout forward. And wow. And if it's got Strider on those mummies, so they're always going to be hitting on 4+ no matter where they're fighting.
Yep.
And then throws the other dude in with them, so they're always hitting on 3+. Ooh.
So a very nasty scouting list. So it should be turn 1 combat guys. That's what we're looking for.
Very high unit strength as well. So depending on what scenarios first, that's gonna throw a few people.
So let me bring up Ben Hampshire's list. I'll do this one. I've put up the wrong list because I'm an idiot. Give me a second.
I can do this one if you want.
I got it.
I'll let you go for it then.
I got it. I really like Ben. I've had 2 fantastic games against them. Not that I don't like John Quayle, of course, who I also really like. Just to be absolutely clear, we like everybody. Entirely equity. We like favourite children. We don't have any favourites.
I don't have any favourites. I hate everybody equally.
Oh, do you? Okay, cool. I do have. It's Simon Cooper's my favourite. It's all right. I'm allowed to say.
Oh, I love Si. Yeah.
So, Ben, chat, is this cooked? Is this list's name that Ben has given? So, we know that they are in the middle of painting this army. So there was a lot of chat about, not sure whether I should submit the list, might not get it painted, but clearly they have fully committed now. So, the new filth, Forces of the Abyss, 3 regiments of Abyssal Guard, all of which have got Sacrificial Imp, 2-handed weapons, one of which has the Oathbreakers, which gives them Vicious and dash 17, so additional pip of nerve and Vicious. Defense 4, melee 3, Abyssal Guard, a regiment of Succubi with a Succubi Lurker upgrade, and Brewer's Strength. I do like Succubi as a unit. Defense 3 is always a bit puzzling, but they are speed 6, charge 3. Very nice.
It's sort of the Berserker things, aren't they? All the Berserker regiments seem to have a low defense, but they're not fearless, which is odd.
They're not fearless, but they are, Ensnare, Fury, Stealthy, and Pathfinder. They have all of the rules. We can't give them fearless as well. It's just really unbelievably broken. And they already have plenty of broken things. Notice, by the way, in this list, no Berserkers. I thought it was really interesting.
Well, you could give them fearless and take the Fury off them.
I think that overpowers personally. But anyway, Gargoyles, because Gargoyles are good, are 1 troop of those. A Horde of Molochs with Despoiler Champion, which gives them all the extra bits and pieces. 2 regiments of, we've lost Jan, 2 regiments of Abyssal Horsemen, 1 with Striding, 1 with Blood of the Old King, which I think is the new sharpness. You think, Bob? Blood of the Old King.
Well, see, as they've taken away most of the negatives from it, yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a must take now on something that you want to dish out a lot of damage in one turn.
I think it's just fantastic, yeah. Especially Abyssal Horsemen, which are so good now. They were already good, and now they're just really, when they're fearless and regen, gross. Abyssal Harbinger with Loot of Insatiable Darkness. So, along with that Firebolt, it's Bane Chant 2, and an Aura of Rampage, melee 3. Only. Tasty. Abyssal Warlock with Bane Chant Veil of Shadows. Zazuzu, the Betrayer, that I have never seen an Abyssal list without currently because it's just so good. So, are you back, Joan?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
So, Zazuzu, can boost their Fireball by giving Gargoyles or some kind of is it any unit that he can the Betrayal rule, or is it just Gargoyles?
They have to have a keyword, don't they?
I don't know which one it is, but I know that most people tend to use Gargoyles for that.
Because they have regen.
Exactly, they just regen it off again. So Betrayal is a single friendly core unit, so it's no keyword, it's any friendly core unit.
Right.
And then they have... Oh, I so lied. They do have Berserkers. They have 2 regiments of Berserkers, both of which are Sacrificial Imps, and the regiment of Nagari with their...
it's the new formation, isn't it?
Yeah, Aura of Regeneration 4+. So everything that regens normally now regens better. So, there we have it. We have Scouting EOD, who want to come up and punch you in the face. Very durable, very regen. Against a Abyss list that wants to come up and punch you in the face, which is very durable with lots of regen.
I mean, it's only
Yeah.
14 drops, but 30 unit strength.
I think this is a cracking game. I'm very keen. John's always been the bridesmaid, hasn't he? So again, this is
he has
Ben's
always been the
first year.
bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah. I think his position is third. That's just where he's third or second.
He gets his podiums, but he's
John, I tell you what, John is a fantastic player. Ben is also a fantastic player. So and lovely people to play. What's your thoughts, Bob?
Well, I'm quickly looking at. I mean, I've never played against the new 2024 version of Forces of the Abyss. In fact, I think the last time I played Forces of the Abyss was about March last year. But it looks like it does exactly what it says on the tin, to be honest, with all the new formation, the fighty bits that they've put in with the and the word escapes me, Mollocks with the
Spoiler champion.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. It's actually on the screen there. I'm looking at it.
It's right there. It's literally right there, buddy. Yeah.
Literally right in front of me. But yeah, I think John, depending on the scenario, the scouting's gonna be one of those do I don't I scout my regiments forward with all those abyssal guard, with all the crushing strength in there, the fact that they've all got either fury or fearless. It's gonna be difficult to choose between those two. And then you got, like you say about the Abyssal Horseman with the blood of the old king, that just deletes things. I mean, I know it's a one-use jobby, but it's just going to delete something. And if you time it right, that could swing the whole game for you.
There's a lot of board control in John's list as well, isn't there?
There is.
With the scout, I mean, the one thing he's going to be cautious of is the fact that Ben's list is very fast and very punchy.
It's very fast, very manoeuvrable. I mean, the only thing that Forces of the Abyss list is lacking is ordered march. Speaking as a dwarf player.
Good, cracking game. Can't wait to see this one. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay. After that, recover my reading skills for the that I've just had.
Fingers are ready.
We have Aaron Rankin with his Empire of Dust versus. Now it says here it's James Williams, but I know for a fact it's Nick. So Nick with his Order of the Green Lady. So we'll have a couple of stat bits. So Nick, he finished 31st in the rankings. He used 3 factions: Ogres, Dwarfs, and Order of the Green Lady, which he came top at, which is why he's using it at the Masters. 10 events, 4 podiums, 61% win rate, 25 out of 44, and 68.3 kill rate. Aaron ranked 36th. He used 4 factions: EOD, Night Stalkers, Goblins, and Twilight Kin, and he is the top EOD player, which is why he's using EOD. He attended 11 events, 3 podiums, 52.4% win rate, 22 out of 42, and 57% kill rate. So there. And who's up first?
Second EOD list of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I can quickly, because I did this before, I can quickly take an aside and we'll go through, because there are 3 EOD lists, a total of 12.5% of the overall lists in the tournament.
So we have another one to look forward to.
Yes. I won't go through the whole thing, because then
that's fine.
I'll save some of my hard worked out, because maths is really difficult for me. Being an ex-Marine,
we share that.
I can only count up.
Be an accountant.
I can only count up to 30. That's the number of rounds in the magazine.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, hello, Mark.
Hello,
hi,
Mark.
nice to finally see
Sorry for
you.
being late.
Oh, bless you. You joined us at least. Right.
Yeah,
Well, shall I
sorry
take
for that.
our ranking while everybody chats?
Yeah, you go through Aaron Rankin. Yep. I'm trying to work out how to make our names show, but I'm not succeeding. So carry on.
Oh, bless. Right. So Aaron's list, as said, Empire of Dust. We have 4 regiments of mummies. So there's a whopping lot of regeneration coming at somebody. Revenant Cavalry, two regiments. Soul Snare with his Drain Life. Reanimated Behemoth. Ouch. Lots of crushing and a Leech Life 1 there. Monolith, just to help you out when you need it. Cursed High Priest with the Gnome Glass Shield, because that's an auto take of recent from what I've seen. Surge 8, Drain Life 6, and then we've got the Idol of Shorebeck with Heal 5. Appius, is that? Champion of Death?
Apathis. It's Apathis.
Apathis. It's me. Dyslexia doesn't work well when you go into these things, but all good fun. So more Drain Life and some Surge 8. So we've got plenty of Surge, and we've got lots of units to Surge out there. We have 12 units. That's low on the unit count. Unit strength is fairly average. It's 24. That's the same as the first 2 that we saw, but it's a bit low on Masters, I think, when it comes to unit strength, because you never know what we're going to throw at you as scenarios. I like the list. Well done, Aaron. And obviously, you know how to use it, otherwise you won't be number 1 with the AOD. Who would like to take Nick's list?
Oh, I'll do that.
Oh, go on then, Bob, you do it. Crack on.
Okay, so we have Order of the Green Lady. So we have a regiment of men-at-arms retainers. Bog standard dudes, 105 points for a normal regiment. Centaur Bray Hunters with short bows. What a troop of. Order of the Redemption. 2 regiments of, 1 with the Chant of Hate, 1 with the Blessing of the Gods. Then we have 2 hordes of Order of the Forsaken, which is the big flying cavalry, both with the Vial of Sacred Water, which does something that escapes me at the moment. 1 with Suggesties Boots of Striding, 1 with the Brew of Haste for that extra 22-inch charge range with a horde of flaying monsters. 2 Beasts of Natures, both with wings, both increased attacks to 7. The Avatar of the Green Lady, as she comes. And 2 Exemplar Redeemers on Winged Unicorn. I think I've faced this army, actually. Total of 11 units, 20 unit strength. Yes, I have faced this army.
That's at the beginning of the year.
Battles of the Undercroft.
Yep.
And basically watched my Free Dwarf army evaporate in front of it. It outgunned me, outflew me, outranged me, and Nick outplayed me. Yeah, it's a scary, scary army, and he knows how to use it. Really. Lots of synergy goes on there. Surprise what he'll use as chaff as well. Certainly surprised
it's very
me.
elite.
It is very elite, but he's in no qualms about throwing stuff away if it'll give him the advantage.
If you've only got 11 units, you have to be at no qualms if you've got the advantage.
I know. So I think, to be honest, this army will suffer under the scoring system. I think it's an army that's set up for Northern Kings scoring. Goes out there, sacrifices itself, but causes a lot of damage and wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's attrition scoring on Q, isn't it? Yeah,
it is attrition scoring. It's the difference between you can't throw your army away and win by 1 and expect to come out well in.
Well, we've got 12 units versus 11 units. This is going to be the quickest game ever, and it's a really fast army, Nick's army. So it should be, we're still looking at combat turn 2, if not turn 1. There's no scouting in Aaron's list, right? So at least there's that.
Yeah, he's not taken all the caskets, has he?
No. So once these guys get into combat, it's not going to last long, is it? Because there's a lot of very hitty things
on both sides. I think the EOD are going to, if they don't get one-shotted, they're going to outgrind the Order of the Green Lady.
Interesting to see. Cool. Should we move on to the next one?
Move on to the next one. Okay, so we have our only representative of the Smith clan, Chris, with his undead, playing Gentleman George Kirke with his Vassalians.
Oh, lovely.
Some stats.
Oh, of course, some stats.
Yeah, you do some business.
Yes. So, George, he's ranked 26th. He's used 2 factions, Basileans and Night Stalkers. He's the top Basilean player. He's attended 5 events, no podiums, but he has a 72% win rate, which is 18 out of 25 games, and a 61.4% kill ratio. And Chris is ranked 28th. He's used 1 faction, which is Undead. He is the top Undead player, which is why he's using Undead. He's attended 9 events, 1 podium, 61.5% win rate, 24 games out of 39, and 56% kill rate.
Not wildly dissimilar.
No.
So which one should we first? Let's look at Chris's first. So I've played Chris, so I'll do this one. I played him at Warfare, and it was a fantastic game. It has 2 hordes of skeleton spearmen, both of which have undead giant rats. 2 hordes of whites, one's with Mead of Madness, one with the Sanguinary Scripture for an additional life leech. Mead of Madness giving those whites a charge of 15 inches. 3 regiments of Revenant Cavalry, one with the Roots of Striding. A Necromancer with Inspiring Talisman, Surge and Weakness. A Standard Bearer, who has the Wild Charge Aura for skeletons. On a horse with the Loot for Banechant 2. Morgoth the Mandatory. A Revenant on an Undead Great Burrowing Worm with Brew of Haste, making it speed 8, so it's a 16-inch charge on that dash 18 monster with Brutal and Crush 3, Strider. And then a Revenant King on Undead Great Flying Worm with Blade of Slashing. So he used those very ably against me, and it was quite sad. He's dropped his vampires that he had last time when I played him. So he's got 27 unit strength, and is it 12 units? 2, 4, 6, 8. No, 14 units. I can't. Be honest, I can't see because it's underneath the banner. Let me get rid of the banner. It's 12 units. We're good. Nope. 12 units. So another quite elite undead list.
3 of those are not scoring.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So you got 9 scoring units. Okay. Mark, do you want to take Georgie's Basilean list?
Cool. So yeah, horde of men at arms, spearmen. So that's a nice phalanx. 2 hordes of Elohi, one with Jesse's boots and one with Helmet of Drunken Ram. So TC and Strider. 2 troops of Gur Panthers. Regiment of Paladin Knights. Heavy Arblast, which it's the war engine. Not a bad one. 2 Phoenixes. Git. Julius. Double Git. Horde of Palace Guard. Oh, no, sorry. Palace Guard Captain. The Ogre Palace Guard Captain. Okay. And the High Paladin on Dragon.
Ooh.
So still 12 unit strength? No, 12 units, I mean, and 23 unit strength.
Yeah, it's lower on the unit strength. Again, it's going to come down to
it's
scenario.
It's only 1 unit which doesn't score, though.
Yeah,
that's right. It's very it's not a bad Basilean list, is it?
It's not a bad Basilean list at all. Definitely
We can't be
not.
biased about the other George's on the Masters committee, so you know.
Yeah, but 3 of us are on the Masters committee. We can't all just side with George.
He's
And
the one that qualified.
Yeah, well, some of us weren't really able to attend this year to do anything to qualify. So
That's not my excuse.
I don't know. It's mine.
Because there's all the years before that I haven't qualified.
Anyway, I can't. I genuinely, I would love to see this because George's list is, it's normal Basilean. I don't want to, do any disservice to it.
It's Basileans. It's beautiful and it's shiny.
The only thing he's taken the Arbalest, which is an unusual choice, a bolt thrower. You don't often see that. That's the only thing you don't often see, I would say. Defense
but
5.
The shiny angels against the undead. It's kind of a battle that is, you do want George to win, but at the same time, I'm sat here thinking, I've not seen Chris Smith this year, and it'd be lovely to see him go up the rankings so I can see him on live screen while I'm running around TOing.
Yeah, both lovely people, both beaten me. Both. So that's not saying live one's beaten me. Gosh, I think George gets first strike, right? So it's how surgically he applies that strike that will determine the battle, I guess.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. If George manages to get the first strike, the first turn, or dependent on the scenario, the first placing that might make a difference.
Yeah. Finland says hello. Hello to you, Peter.
Hola.
Hi to Finland. If any other countries want to say hello, we'll shout you out. That's absolutely fine.
Oh, Perkele, the only Finnish I know.
Did we not learn anything when we were in a bar? Anyway, Bob, who's up next?
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
Welcome back, Mark.
Oh, cheers.
That was a bad landing. Next time you parachute, use a chute. Right. So next we have Simon Tanner with his Twilight Kin versus Alistair Vowles with his Abyssal Dwarfs.
Okay.
So, let's have everyone look.
Go and have the
Simon Tanner,
stats.
ranked 15th, used 2 factions, used Trident Realms and Twilight Kin, and came highest. No, he didn't. Sorry. He's using Twilight Kin. 13 events, 3 podiums, win rate of 58.9%, which is 33 out of 56, and a kill rate of 57.2. Alistair, ranked 7, used 3 factions, Basileans, Elves, and Forces of the Abyss. He is the top Forces of the Abyss player. He attended 16 events, 4 podiums, 58.7% win ratio, which is 37 out of 63 games, 62% kill rate, and he lost about, 78% of his friends using that Forces of the Abyss army.
I believe
Shall I
New
take
Zealand
Alistair's list?
Well, Alistair's just been playing whatever he can print quick enough, right, and get painted. It helps if you own a 3D printing. He has
a farm of 3D printers, and he goes, "Oh, that looks nice."
So if New Zealand's saying hello, that must be Dave, the Lord of the Mantic. The
Lord.
And don't try any more Finnish. There goes monetization with that language. He says.
Yes, I know. Well, I didn't say it was the only nice Finnish I knew.
Yeah. It's not for children. I'll mark it. So, God, we're 39 minutes already.
Not for Finnish children, anyway. What kind of children are they if they know that language?
So, Saitama. So I've played Saitama a number of times. I've never beaten him with his Twilight Kin, but he's described this list as what Night Stalkers should do, but better, or something like that. Basically, it's all the Night Stalker stuff in the Twilight Kin list to try and kind of make the most of the Navigator's auras. So he's got 2 regiments of mutants, one with Dwarven Ale, one with Chalice of Wrath, 2 troops of phantoms, 3 hordes of butchers. So basically all of the Night Stalker units, bar wherever the pointy ones are called. What are they called?
Reapers?
No, mutants are mutants. I'll come up with it in a minute. You know, the one... Jesus. It's embarrassing, isn't it, that we're supposed to be... Reapers. Hasn't got Reapers.
We're meant to know what we're saying, but don't.
So it hasn't got Reapers in it, but he's got a Mind Screech, which is the planar apparition version, so heal and Mind Fog, I guess, to heal those butchers. 2 Terrors, which are just fantastic, ensnaring, regen, and that just very depressing rampage. 8 if you happen to have infantry. A Navigator with the loot, and then triple Crone. So the 3 Crones, he's kissed them out like this. So he's 1 with the Edge Periscope, Hex, and Scorched Earth, 1 with Weakness 4, and 1 with Wind Blast 8, the Zephyr Crown, to give the additional Wind Blast. So it's up to the native Wind Blast 6, I want to say, and Host Shadow Beast 2. So an interesting kind of loadout. 14 units and 22 unit strength. So,
is that the army that caused a lot of teddies and toys to be thrown out of Kings of War Fanatics?
Yeah, absolutely. But this is post-nerf. It's been heavily nerfed. So pre-nerf, the Crones would they all do damage with their spells anyway, most of their spells, but it was with Piercing 1, and that's been removed. And the Navigator's impact has been reduced, so it doesn't benefit Impalers as much. But this list, he's basically working on a grind list with Punch. So triple hordes of butchers is his grind element. He's trying to get those in, I guess.
And the Terrors as well.
And the Terrors, right. And he's got a Navigator for Life Leech 2. Jan's back. And Crones with a lot of nasty kind of spells. So, yeah, I like the list. I think it's a really fresh take on them. I really like it. So, awesome. So, Alistair's list. Who wants to take this one?
I'll do that one.
Go on.
Seeing as I've played him a lot this year. Okay, so Abyssal Dwarfs, 4 troops of gargoyles. Yeah, I've never played this because he only finished printing it last week.
I was thinking more you've hardly played this year because you've not really escaped without me.
I know, but I play all the local tournaments and so does he.
Yeah, it's true.
Abyssal half-breeds, 5 regiments of Abyssal half-breeds, 1 with Sir Jesse's boots, 1 with fire oil. So they better not spill that on themselves because they've got regeneration. 2 hordes of Abyssal Grotesques. Oh, which they're just so nice now after they got the fact that they gave them Strider and Fury. 2 Abyssal Half-Breed Champions and Bracky Barker, which effectively is an Abyssal Half-Breed Champion on steroids. 14 drops, 25 total unit strength. Now that is... It looks... Well, it looks to me very similar to his Forces of the Abyss army, because that had lots of the flaying dudes.
Torture's Tolls. It was Torture's Tolls.
And what they do, they'd fly up basically anything like stockpile or anything like that. They fly up, land just beyond it. If you charge them, the half-breeds will come out and kill you. If you don't charge them, the half-breeds come out, collect the tokens, and start going back. It is a good army for that sort of scenario. And any other sort of scenario, it just goes out and rips you a new one, to be honest.
The biggest danger we've got is Saitana timing out, if I'm honest with you. But that's just...
Well, yeah.
Should be fun, I think.
Units. They've both only got 14 units. They're not going to do too badly. If it was a big horde army, Simon would really stand a chance of timing out.
I think it's interesting. I think Alistair's got a lot of position, right? A lot of speed. Yeah, I think the Terror is going to have a field day.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of...
Sorry, go back. When is the Terror going to have a match for field day?
Half-breeds are all Cav?
Or half-breeds and gargoyles.
Yeah.
Okay.
the vast majority of his army.
It's only the tasks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to give him that little bit of a boost.
I like us all sitting here going, they've nerfed such and such, or they've done this and that. It's Mark. He's literally right here. Is he sitting here making jokes about nerf, half-breed?
Having the Bound Terror actually improve, it's great.
And for all you guys in the chat that were pissing about Rack and Ruin, there he is.
That's me. Anyway, right. They were blaming you for Rack and Ruin, Mark. It's me. He did Bulldog. We don't blame anyone for anyone.
I did the other one, which they don't like, is Bulldog. I did all the other scenarios.
Yeah, I just kept throwing random names into the argument just for a laugh. Right, so next is this should be fun. Oh, good God. Simon Cooper with the League of Rhodia versus Barry Joyner with Forces of Nature.
Oh, God.
Wow, this will be fun.
Come on, Bob, with the stats.
Let's have some stats. So,
now this has got to be comedy value. This one needs to be shown.
What's Barry playing? Forces of Abyss.
Barry is playing Forces of Nature because that's what he qualified.
That's what he qualified as.
He's on the list as not Ed Herzig.
Okay.
Because they got exactly the same points. They scored exactly the same points. So Barry is ranked 30th. He's played 3 factions: Forces of Nature, Forces of the Abyss, and Halflings. Which isn't true because the Halflings was a mistake. I actually wrote it down and then realised that he's been put on. Somebody submitted his results with Halflings, and he's never played Halflings. As far as I know, he doesn't own any Halflings.
Nice.
But he's
some way to fix that.
He is the top Forces of Nature player with Ed, as I said before. He's only attended 8 events. He's got 1 podium, 59.5% win rate, which is 22 out of 37, 61.8% kill rate, and he spent the last 2 weeks intensely practicing Dead Zone.
Yep, that's his perfect way of playing.
Yeah. So, Simon, I'm sure he's on my list somewhere. Let's have a look. Simon Cooper, ranked 33rd, so there's not a lot between them. He's used 3 factions: Abyssal Dwarfs, Ratkins, and League of Rhodia. I'm reading my own abbreviation here. I was about to say Lord of the Rings. He's the top League of Rhodia player. He's attended 8 events, 0 podiums, 67.6% win rate, 23 out of 34. 58.8 kill ratio. So
there's a lot of rumbling, by the way, in the Masters tournament chat about how much they like Saitana's Night Stalker / Twilightkin list.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. I don't look because that's what keeps making my phone pop off. So
There's a bunch of people going, "Ooh, that's a good." Basically, I'm going to take my cues from that chat because they know more than I do about the game, and apparently, very good list.
I ought to find my second telephone up and start using it. But
right, Mr. Cooper
and his chickens.
So Sai launched kind of a campaign to get Rhodia to Masters, supported by
Rhodia great. We were part of it.
We were part of his supporting team.
Yeah, it was you guys and who else? Flo,
yeah.
And they qualified now, and he's the best one. So he's got. Yeah. Go on.
I was going to say it was great fun. It was a nice time. I'll let you do the list. I'll not make us last all night.
We will say he did qualify mostly with Flo's help. We were absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, we were absolutely. Well, actually, no. I kicked your ass. I tabled you, so I did all right for me.
And you had to say it on the.
No, it's going to sleep, Bob.
Anyway. It's more belittling of Bob. Anyway, let's 2 hordes of dogs of war, both of which have indomitable will, giving them the once per game fearless and inspired. One of which is the shields of Hedrenberg. So they are ensnaring and phalanx, defense 5. And the other one is the Raisins of Boulonviche.
Raisins.
Melee 3, elite. Oh, they always have phalanx, right? Dogs of War. So the native phalanx. So the Shields of Hechburg get ensnare and defense 5, and the Erasers of Boulonviche get elite and melee 3. So nice score. 3 troops of Halfling Knights. So they are Spell Ward, melee 3, kind of light cav. Thunder 1. A regiment of knights with boots of striding. 2 hordes of honor guard, both of which have indomitable will. A battle shrine, which I think is mandatory. An ASB with the loot. Wizard with a Pegasus, Conjurer's Staff, Bane Chant, and Mind Fog. And Duke Hetrenberg. And so we've got Duke Hetrenberg, who comes on a big dog. So he's not flying, he's just on a big dog at 14-16. He's kind of a bit like Nias, isn't he? Nias from Basileans.
He is a bit,
Very similar profile.
His mount hasn't got as large genitalia as the Nias model.
But he has got rallying.
The backward wings.
No, it doesn't.
No, does it not? Okay.
So he's rallying 2 for cavalry. Does he rally the honor guard? They're large cavalry. I guess not.
No, he doesn't.
No.
So he just rallies the troops of knights, making them 12-14, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a regiment of knights as well.
Yeah.
And then a duke on ancient winged Adalaz with a staying stone, so a 16-17 hero, which is just your general on winged beast, but better because it's got radiance of life and Iron Resolve.
Resolve, yes.
And backwards wings.
Only on the Rothling model.
I think they're called chickens because I think his knights are all on chickens rather than horses.
Oh, he's got the
bonus.
The assault group chicken riders. I've got the same guys.
There is. Yeah, I've seen that.
Hi to Andy Hawley.
Hi, Mr. Hawley.
Who left the door open?
Member.
And there is a battle shrine right there in the middle, Peter.
Yes, there is a battle shrine there.
You don't want to take halflings. Anyway, Barry's Forces of the Abyss.
Shall I do this one?
Yep, take it.
Forces of Nature, yeah.
Okay, I shall go for this. Sorry. After the Lover's Farm, which is totally Barry. He has to have his puns in there. Right, so we have Naiad Heart Piercers. I love the not regular goblins. Shush.
It's because it's his orc and goblin army.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass when it comes to these little things he pops in. Then we've got 2 hordes of fire elementals, earth elementals, horde of regiment of centaur bray hunters because he likes getting his ass kicked. I mean, because he likes to try and shoot stuff. A greater air elemental with wind blast 6,
and it is a Sharknado model as well, which is really cool.
It is Sharknado.
It is Sharknado. I've seen that, yeah.
Yep. Then we've got 2 great fire elementals. I love Flint Eastwood, by the way.
Reynolds. Oh.
Yep. And then we've got Hydra. Steve the Hydra Titan. Yep. Then we've got a greater earth elemental, which is literally a big giant head. You've got the druid who has the conjurer's staff, forest steed as a mount, and has bane chant, surge, and hex. I'm surprised I didn't put the conjurer's.
Is there one more? There you go.
Yeah, there is. There's Keris with a solar staff and a Glade Druid Walker. There it is.
That's the thing.
The Ring of Harmony with Crown of the Wizard King. So multi-nastiness there, can do 2 lots of bits.
The solar staff's the thing that disorders things, isn't it?
It does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a fair bit of thunderous charge in Simon's army as well. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
thinking.
we've got 13 units there and a unit strength of 20. Yep. Barry's very good as long as he's had a couple of drinks and has a hangover. So that's something I've not actually mentioned yet. So I'll blurt it out at this point. Mantic have rolled out the carpets for us, and we have a bar this year.
Mm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a bar. Please don't fetch your own booze for a change. You can roll up and get it served to you.
Buy the TO a drink.
But yeah, Barry,
Liberal
feel free.
advertising.
We'll sort you out. We'll make sure. At least you're all able to buy each other a drink at the end as commiserations too.
And to put out the flames from the burning.
Well, yeah, that might happen.
Bar on Saturday only. There will be rum at the bar.
Yes, there will be. Yeah, and there will be.
Yes, they will be selling. They will be selling the Goblin Blaster at the bar. Apparently,
they shall, but there won't be a discount on that. We do have a Masters discount going on the day, but I'll tell everybody about it on the Masters morning.
Dragging us hastily back on topic. Mark, what do you think of this matchup?
I think.
Sorry to wake you up there.
Yeah, no, I think Simon's probably got it on this. I think I'll give it more to Simon on this one. Sorry, Barry.
I think it's Simon's got quite a very durable force, hasn't he? There's a lot of nerve here.
Yeah,
there is.
And looking at Barry's list, there's a fair amount of fearless nerve. To be honest, there's a lot of nerve here as well. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of elementals in there. A lot of fearless nerve.
They're the same drops. Barry drops his unit strength, and as I said earlier, I do think that of recent unit strength has become a big thing when it comes to scenarios.
Mark, you were saying?
I was about to say, it all depends on if you can get multi-charges off. If you can't, Barry plays good. Barry could steal it, but I think it's a Barry steal as opposed to it's a Simon to win, but a Barry could steal it because he's got the shambling.
If Barry turns up and thinks that he's fucked it over in the first turn, then Barry's like,
that's normal. That's very normal.
That is Barry normal, and that is how Barry works. If he thinks he's screwed on first turn, he just plays.
Then realise he's not screwed. He's actually done a cunning plan, which he didn't realise was a cunning plan.
Correct. I'm actually going to go for Barry, I'm afraid. Sorry, I love Simon Cooper's list, and I love Scythe to pieces. But I actually have a feeling that Barry's going to feel like he's completely screwed in the first place because he's turning up at Masters, and he feels like an intruder. So I think he's probably going to play Barry form.
Well, I gave him a pep talk at club, and I'll give him another one on Tuesday, and we'll see if it works. I'll offer him some advice.
Did he play? He was playing Dead Zone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he practices. It's like Rocky practices fighting by running up and down stairs.
Normal. Right. Who's next?
Next is Christopher Lynch versus Florence Maunders.
Oh, you won.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. No. Blame Elliot Barrett for his algorithms. It's not my fault. So, while everybody picks themselves up off the floor, I'll read some stats out here.
Fix.
Chris Lynch. Wait till you see the next one. I think it's seeded people. Anyway, Chris Lynch ranked ill. Oh, what number one in the UK? He has used 13 factions, thus disqualifying himself from being best in any faction. He's using Northern Alliance. He's done 13 events, 11 podiums, so he's slipping. He's had 52 wins out of 60 games for a total of 86.7%, 73.2% kill rate. So, and out of the possible score of 400 for the overall Cow Masters, he's dropped a total of 8.03 points. He's on 391.87. Not bigging him up or anything like that.
He bigs himself up enough. Don't worry about it.
I know. I've said it.
Beast mode.
Yeah. But I can't, and I will say it now. He's never beaten me.
Have you ever played him?
I played him once and he withdrew.
Nice.
Due to an ungentlemanly use of the wild charge aura on Spheric Egilax. I must admit, it was a particularly good gotcha moment. Right, Florence. She's ranked number 5 in the UK, so not that far back.
Not shabby.
She's number 1 in race for Sylvan King. She's used 4 factions this year: Kingdoms of Men, Sylvan King, Forces of Nature, and League of Rhodia to make Rhodia great. 20 events played, 8 podiums, 56.6% win rate, 65.5% kill rate. This is going to be a match to watch, I must admit. And sorry, Chris is using Northern Alliance, Florence is using Sylvan King.
Right. So, here's the thing about Chris Lynch's list, which I will bring up now. This is not Chris Lynch's list, right? This is Matt Gorham's list, right, which he has outrageously stolen, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Did Matt steal it off?
Rob Phipps.
Yeah.
I played against this list. It's very scary. So it's a horde of ice naiads with hammer of measured force and spears, giving them phalanx and to go with their ensnare. 3 hordes of ice elementals, all of with the shooting upgrade, one of which has got fire oil. 4 regiments of Frostclaw riders. Mark, please, for the love of God. Anyway, 4 regiments of Frostclaw riders, all of with the ice bombs upgrade for shooting. One of which has the boots of striding. 2 regiments of snow foxes. Yeah. 2 regiments of snow foxes. Serakina, the Ice Queen, who has Surge and Windblast. And the Thane with Talonar's Standard for rallying. And the Tome of Darkness for Surge 5. And then 2 Snow Troll Primes.
Oh.
14 units, 26 unit strength. So the designer of this list says, what main weakness does that Northern Alliance list have? Shooting. Anyway, into Florence's list. Who wants to take this one?
I'll do that one then.
Go on then.
So we have Sylvan King, an infantry horde of Forest Guard with the Brew of Strength, 2 regiments of Glade Stalkers as they come, the Windborn, which is the upgraded special unit with Windblast 7, and it's just troop size, 2 troops of Wild Ger Panthers. Nice chaff. 2 regiments of Silver Breeze Cavalry. So you have 1 with fire oil and 1 without. Stormwind Cavalry. This is probably the main punch of the army. 2 cavalry regiments, both of which have been added Pathfinder, one of which is Brew of Sharpness, 1 Chant of Hate, and both upgraded to Quicksilver Lancers just to make them especially effective. That bumps up the nerve and makes them what else does it do, the Quicksilver Lancers? Or do it just puts up the nerve?
Nimble and Pathfinder.
Nimble, yes. I thought elves were nimble anyway.
Stormwind aren't. Silver Breeze were nimble. Stormwind weren't, but they are with the Quicksilver upgrade, yeah.
Girly tight wearing pointy.
Speaking as a girly tight wearing. Move on.
2 Master Hunters, 1 with the Scythe of the Harvester and 1 with the Axe of the Giant Slayer. Yes, as I found out, thanks to Renee, I found out that those things work on the bows as well.
Here's my scythe, by the way. I'm going to do more shots on my bow.
Yes, I'm going to fire my Scythe of the Harvester through my bow on the Axe of the Giant Slayer. And then we have the Elven King with the Shard Blade, so he hits on 2+.
Nice.
Wanderer, Sabertooth, Hunting Cat, did I give him Duelist? Yeah. and Blade of the Beast Slayer just to bloody hell. He's like the Swiss Army Elven King.
Swiss Army King.
13 units, 21 units strength. Oh dear me. So there's quite a hefty bit of shooting there and some nice repositioning with the wind blast. I mean, I've faced a similar army. Ger Panthers make you stand in place. The Gladestalkers take advantage of anybody that is too slow to avoid them by shooting them to death. And the Silver Breeze help out by getting around the flanks, etc., shooting plink damage off everything. And your Stormwind Cavalry come in to finish it all off, no matter where you hide. And like the Master Hunters are there being irritating as anything by finding those tiny little gaps between units, plinking their arrows through, really, really upsetting the positional play, making you think lots and lots about where you're going to put stuff. And then just to add insult to injury, as soon as somebody sticks their head up, the Shard Blade wielding, saber-tooth hunter, cat toting Blade of the Beast Slayer dude comes in and chops you to pieces. Nice. That's a nice list. I think it's probably one of the better lists that I've seen in the 24 that are here tonight for facing that Northern Alliance army.
Exactly what I was going to say. I think, the
only thing that Northern Alliance does is shut down the scout as well. Because
True.
It can't scout up as high as it would normally.
Still range there.
Now those ice shards are 12 inches rather than 10. That means you've got a move of 6 and a shoot of 12. So they've got an 18-inch threat range. As soon as you come near those ice elementals, they are going to really punish you. The Frostcore Riders, they're only 11-13, so they're surprisingly vulnerable, and there is a lot of shooting, which is going to make a mess of them. So I think this is a really fascinating game to see. I'd love to watch this one.
I mean, one of the hunter with the Axe of the Giant Slayer is going to be particularly effective against the large cav, the wingy dudes. Frostclaw Riders, yeah. Why on earth do the Frostclaw Riders get ice bombs and the Free Dwarf ones get Pissan 12-inch shooting? I'm going to come and stand right in front of your stuff.
You get enough stuff in Free Dwarfs. Don't start on this. Right, anyway. After this bomb, who's next?
All right, go on then. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at the magic box. Right, so we have the enigma that is Thomas, which is Tom Robinson with his undead, versus the hero that everybody wanted, Simon Brand, man of the people, with his battle.
That's another tough one.
Told you, I think there's some secret seeding going on here.
That is a hell of a match. So do you want to do some stats?
Oh yes, sorry. I'm sitting there going, oh yeah. Oh, who am I looking for? My amazing filing system. Tom Robinson. This year he is ranked 6th. He's played 2 factions, Undead and Northern Alliance, and he's the top Northern Alliance player.
And
he's 6 events, and he's got 5 podiums. 88% win ratio. 74% kill ratio. I know. Cybrand. He was here. Oh, there he is. He's ranked 10th. He's played 3 factions. Northern Alliance, Orcs and Ratkins, which is probably why he's using Basileans. He's done 4 events, 2 podiums, 73.7% win ratio, which is 14-19 games, 66.3% kill ratio. So both heavy hitters.
Big heavy hitters. So Tom, I'm going to say, and I don't think he'd gainsay me here. I played both of these players, right? And I know them both very, very well. I think Tom is here to have fun, right?
Well, yeah.
always.
I don't. I think with this list, this is a list that really clearly says, I'm having a laugh today. This is a list that I think Tom will find super fun to play. It's not unserious. This is not like a joke. I mean that it's not like a meta list. This is really fun. So Mark, do you want to talk through this one?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so a troop of wraiths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hordes of zombie trolls. Nice. 2 hordes of whites. One with Blood of the Old King, and one with Jesse Brute. So elite vicious for 1 turn, and Strider Pathfinder for 1 turn. 3 Revenant Kings on Cav. With Surge, so lots of lovely Surge there. A Necromancer with Surge, and Host Shadow, Veil of Shadows, which is stealthy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And a Vicious Aura, so all those zombies suddenly become vicious. And Morgoth the Faceless. With his, I think, yeah. That's it. The thing is, in Tom's hand, this is still a scary list.
Terrifying. There's a lot of surge potential in there. I mean, he's got surge. What? I mean, it's a surge.
15, 25, 31.
31 serve. Is this the zombie railgun Mark II?
It looks like it.
Just a bit.
I mean, the fact that you had the zombie railgun had all the revenants on winged beasts or whatever.
Yeah. It was 6 dragons.
6 dragons, effectively. But I mean, this is just like zombie troll. Have a horde of zombie trolls. While you're dealing with that, I'm going to shoot another one somewhere else.
This is the zombie bazooka as opposed to the zombie railgun.
Yeah, I think
that's
so,
what it
yeah.
is.
The zombie claymore.
So against the zombie claymore, Valkyrie Finishing School.
Yeah, cool.
Jan, do I read this one?
Yeah, I'll pull that up. Sorry, I didn't see who'd actually been.
It's Cybrand versus Tom Robbo, and he's playing Basileans, a faction he has not played at any events this year.
So both lads are going to have a lot of fun. Let's bring Cy's list up. Right, so Cy, as you say, is Valkyrie Finishing School. We've got a horde of Sisterhood Infantry with a Brew Sharpness.
Ooh.
The Sisterhood Scouts as a regiment. A Lowy Regiment. Ogre Palace Guard. Horde of with the Staying Stone. You have Ger Panthers ×2, just as troops. Then you've got Sisterhood Panther Chariots, one with the Drunken Helm and one with the J Boots. You've got
one regiment, one horde there.
Yeah.
Oh, have I missed a horde? Oh yeah, bottom one, J Boots as a horde is the horde. Sorry. You've got 2 Phoenixes. One's the Ancient Phoenix upgrade, and both of them have gone for heal.
That's what they come with.
Well, you can do other things though, can't you? Or can you? I don't know. I've never played Basileans. I've not used them as a Basilean. I've used Phoenixes. Right. So then you've got a War Wizard with the Crown of the Wizard King. Great choice. Bark Skin. And Bane Chant, and an Abbess with the Mournful Blade, and the Aura of Fury for Sisterhood, and a Lohi.
Ur-Elohi.
Ur-Elohi.
Elohi.
Hello.
Hi.
Somebody had 5 points left over.
Yeah, he's got the Blade of Slashing for that 5 points. And we have the Ogre Palace Guard Captain with the Orb of Towering Presence to give him that unit strength, which is
I'm going to lurk at the back for ages and then just at the last minute going to wander into your square and claim it.
I think that Ogre Palace Guard that captain with an Orbitarian presence is a Ratkin unit that Size just slipped in because he was missing playing Ratkin. I just need to have that.
I'm thinking back to the countercharge episode now. I'm looking for the hook for this army. What was the hook that got Sai to make this army? Answers on a postcard, please.
It's a horde of Sisterhood infantry with Rampage 10.
I know. It's just obscene, isn't it? And the Brew of Sharpness.
What the heck? And what can it hit? Absolutely nothing in this list. Just a note. It could hit Morgoth.
Wraiths.
Yeah. This is going to be a great game. It's
just going to be a fun game. They're just going to have a good laugh.
Wow. What a game. Magus, who is Matt G, says Size list is terrifying. It smashes face really blooming hard. It does. Look at it. It's horrific. It's all fast. Well, it's a Basilean list, right? But it's slightly different from George's Basilean list. It's much less kind of flying, a lot more less traditional units, I suppose. But it's still just as painful. God.
That's
very side brand list.
I was just going to say if you exchange tunnel runners for panther chariots, mutant rattlings for phoenixes,
I would say there is one thing to think about. So these are two guys definitely at the top. I mean, Tom Robinson's been UK Master a number of times, right? I think genuinely one of the best players in the world. I think Sidebrand, genuinely one of the best players in the world. Two of them extraordinary. I think Sai has been playing mainly Kings of War all year. Tom has been playing mainly Kill Team.
Perfect practice.
But he is Tom Robinson. So, I can't wait to find... You know what? I can't... Someone just commented about how can you even decide which game to film? I
don't know. Really difficult.
Coin flips, roll a dice.
We've also got to ask the players' permission before they'll let us. So
we do. Yeah. But I'm also considering that if you put some of these really top players on the camera for the first stream and then stop,
they're not going to enjoy themselves.
It might be the same person through the entire tournament, and people won't want to watch that. Yeah. So we need to have a good think about it. But I don't know, any suggestions, any favourites that people would love to see? Chuck them in the chat, and we'll definitely consider it.
Definitely.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for once this has gone out. After Steve saying that Tom is possibly the best Kings of War player in the world, for the entire continent of Australasia to rise up in rebellion at that comment, waving their pictures of Jeffrey Trash.
It's the Americans. Tom's never won in America, so he keeps going over, getting absolutely lagered, and then falling asleep and not beating whoever he plays. So anyway,
that's reciprocal because every Yank that comes over here struggles anyway. So it's one of those things, isn't it?
Clash of Kings, 13th and 14th September. Tickets at the end of the month, everyone. Anyway, who's next?
Nice plug.
Thanks, buddy.
Go on, who's
next? Very slick. Right.
I try.
So next we have Rich Tomlinson with his Riftforged Orcs.
Yay!
Versus the little Polish Gherkin, Radik
Radik!
With his halflings.
I can't spell his surname. How do you spell his surname? Brylowski.
Brylowski.
I'm sure Rad will not mind.
He himself shortens it to Rad Bry. So just
is it like this?
It's close enough.
Yeah, that's correct.
Which basically means no.
Sorry, Radik. I apologise wholeheartedly if it's wrong. Please tell us in the chat if this is incorrect. Right, stats while I find their list.
He'll be in bed by now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Following his regime.
Come on with your stats, Bob.
I'm getting there. Getting there because, like I say, I've done this in shorthand. There we go, Radbry. So ranked 11th. He is the top halfling player, but he has used 3 factions: dwarves, forces of nature, and halflings. He's attended 8 events, 2 podiums, win rate of 22 out of 35, which is 62.9%, and he has a 70.6 kill ratio. And Mr. Tomlinson, he ranked 19th. He's played 5 factions this year: Elves, Ogres, Orcs, Riftforged Orcs, and Oogle. Order of the Green Lady, I think that means.
Yep.
He's the top Riftforged Orc player. I told you, it's my shorthand is terrible. 9 events, 7 podiums out of 9 events, 78.8% win ratio of 26 games out of 33, and a 74.4% kill ratio.
Is this the first time a non-UK player has qualified for UK Masters?
Yes.
Has Steve Tuno qualified before?
He lives in Glasgow.
Yeah, Steve Tuno's been in the last few, actually. So,
come on.
we've got a
Radik
friendship.
lives in Warrington.
He lives in he lives in Warrington, does he? Okay.
He lives in Warrington, yeah.
Yeah, he's
He lives in Poland.
No, you're thinking of Lucas, who's been flying across he's come to Manchester about 4 times to take part in tournaments. A lovely guy. He's like 18 foot tall. I mean, even I have to look up to him. And he's brought his army across, and it's a gorgeously painted army.
It is.
Desperately.
Didn't it win one of the judges' awards at Clash? I think it did.
Yes, I think it did. It is an amazing. It's all mantic, gorgeously painted, and he is so dedicated to Kings of War. It's amazing. Now, to be honest, he's a really good player. I think he's just struggled a little bit with the meta over here. But I reckon if you go to Poland and you fight him under their radar coverage in their air envelope, that you're going to struggle.
Anyway, Rich Tomlinson's. I was surprised Rich took Riftforged Orcs because I've always thought of him as an ogre player.
Yes, I've only ever played him when he's been playing ogres. I'll do this one then.
I think I have played him.
So we have 2 groups of skulks. There is a plan there somewhere. Skulks. Moraks, 2 regiments of Moraks, one with the blood of the old king, which, as we discussed earlier, is fast becoming a almost mandatory item, and blessing of the gods, just to give them that elite. 2 regiments of gore riders, something you don't see a right lot of. Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding on one and Naked Orcs on the other. That's a mental picture you didn't really need. War Drum. A Storm Giant with the Giant Cleaver, which gives him Slayer, so he's for taking out the big dudes. A Flagger with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness to add that extra bit of Bane chant. Rift Forger, one of my favourite Rift Forge things, with Bane chant 2, Host Shadow Beast 3, and Celestial Restoration. Don't do that right, lot. Thonar. Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank's method of detecting submersible vehicles, Thonar. Stormbringer on Hellstriker for the love of that model. It is a really nice model. Rift on the formation, the Iron Boots. So you've got the 2 regiments of Rift Forged Legionnaires. Did my teeth come down in this move? Or have we left them at the other house?
I think we might have left them at the other house, the way you're talking.
Okay. And the Iron Boots is Reborn Legionaries with the Aura of Wild Charge, D3, Orc only, which I just, it's like, why put that on Reborn Legionnaires when they're there with Riftforged Legionnaires who don't have the keyword Orc?
Because it's to encourage you to take things like Skulks and Moraks.
Yeah, because Skulks with Wild Charge is just what you need, isn't it? But the Moraks, yes.
I think I played against a list similar to this, which Andy Marshall was running. It's basically, the hook. We talked about the hook earlier. The hook is the Wild Charge Aura, isn't it? Because he's got basically speed 8 Wild Charge D3 Gore Riders. That's a fantastically fast hitting unit.
Oh, 17 to 19.
I think it's I can't really comment. I played Riftforged Orcs a lot, pre-War Drums, I suppose. But Rich is a better player than I am, so I couldn't really comment on. It's not the list that I would take, but I think it's got a lot of good mobile tool units in here. I'm not. Yeah, the Rift Forger confuses me. Either he's there to hit with Host Shadow Beast, or he's there to heal and Bane Chant. I'm not sure.
Seems too tooled up.
Either he is there. I mean, Bane Chant and Celestial Restoration I can understand because he stands at the back and he's Celestial Restorations until everything's in combat. Then he starts boosting up with the Bane Chant. But you can't do, it's a 3-for-2 offer, isn't it? You can't do all that when you're in there fighting with Host Shadow Beast, and there's nothing else. Oh no, he can do it on Thonar, can't he?
No, don't forget Thonar is an absolute beast. One of my favourite heroes in the entire game. What a legend, Thonar. Anyway,
he's not taking this list. He really is.
That explains why I'm not doing very good with the Rift Forge, don't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mark,
even Rich Miles told me it a million times.
So, pure halflings.
Shall we do the funny on the top line for you?
There you go. That's how you spell his name.
Yep. Radik's need for speed 3.14 is the pi equation for his halflings.
Pi, because they're halflings.
Yes. Sorry, we have to go there. Had to share that with the world. Off you go, Mark. I'll stop interrupting.
So, Horde of Braves, naked, 2 large infrared of Grenadiers, Horde of Forest Trolls, which are large inf as well, with haste. So they're now 14 each charge. Wild Lance, 3 cav regs of them, all with Relentless. Which I think that gives them Iron Resolve, isn't it? Yeah. Aeronauts, Blade of Slashing. Basically.
Because he had 5 points left over.
Yeah.
So no, Relentless gives them once per game re-rolling up to 3 of the dice.
That's one. That's the one type of roll which I keep forgetting. Yep.
Muster Captain.
Aeronauts, large cav rev, 2 Iron Beasts, 1 which is Pride of the Shires. What's that actually?
Aura of Headstrong.
Aura Headstrong, yeah. Muster Captain, which is sure-footed. A Sorcerer, with of course the gastronomy, so has everything. Greedy Guts. I think, is there anything else, or is that it?
Yeah, no, there's more.
Oh, is there more? Sorry, let me turn it over. I'm on the wrong screen, guys. I was just looking at what Halfling Hotpot did, which, by the way, is re-rolling one of your Gastromancy dice. Continue.
And 2 Muster Captains on wing, basically 2 winged ones.
2
winged monsters. Yeah. And that's it. So 15 units, unit strength 27.
Nice point from P2 here. Rift Forge Orcs versus Halflings is totally a fluff match. Talk about Masters being performance. This is all about story now. That's what we're about. We're supporting the narrative.
Totally. Let's just hope we carry on doing throughout the games.
Wasn't it a 2-player starter set or something? Rift Forge versus Halflings?
Might have been.
So this list, I think this is a great list. I think my jury's out on Greedy Guts. I think Greedy Guts is really good. But
if you sat and commentated with us on the Sunday morning at Clash, you would know that Greedy Guts gets so much banter and babble going from Rad that he's fantastic on that table. That is one of Rad's favourite pieces, and he uses him so well.
He does. He's pain in the backside because
he is. We faced it.
Well, he only lives half an hour down the road from us, and so we've been to his and he's been to ours practicing for this. Not very. It's not much practice, you know.
It's like clubbing babies, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. We didn't get tabled.
So, but yeah, the greedy guts. It's the two pigs that are a pain in the arse. The two
They are
iron beasts.
awful.
It's like fighting. It's like fighting a dwarf army with the what they call the behemoths. Two of those iron pigs, one of the pride of the shires. They just make things hang around for so long, and they sit on that square 75mm base. Height 5. They're only 10-inch charge, but the amount of times he manages to sneak them into flanks that you haven't even seen is he is really good. The only weakness I will say, breaching his superpower armor, is that it gives you that much of a running commentary. Sometimes he talks himself out of his manoeuvres by, I'm going to do this and then you're going to do that, and you go, no, I'm fucking not. But yeah, I think this will be a very good matchup. He plays a lot of Malifaux, and that is one of those games where everything is to the nth degree. So he's that sort of player, like Stephanie and Ben, who've come across from War Machine. What you find is there's a lot of them that have taken to Kings of War because of the minutiae of movement and angles and stuff like that. Whereas previously we had Tom, who was like, Terminator with it. He's got it projected on the inside of his eyelids where he can see all the angles and stuff like that. These guys have played War Machine.
And gratefully he's now calmed off on that.
And they know that's their gameplay style, which is why Cow is the sort of the crossover when they don't do War Machine anymore. They come to Kings of War. When they don't do Malifaux anymore, they come to Kings of War. Rad's only here this weekend because they moved the date of the Malifaux Masters. He's at that level of play.
So I think it's a good match to watch. I think it's two. I think I haven't quite got the grips with how halflings should play in my head yet. I think this is a very maneuverable, really like a piecemeal army. And equally, Rich's army is kind of a very kind of a complex. I think it'll be a really technical game, to be honest.
I think so. I think they're both that sort of player. They are both that sort of player, but they are both really nice guys as well. So I think it'll be a game to listen to be honest.
Yeah. And also, I don't think either player fully outcharges the other.
No, it's very much. They're kind of going to be dancing around each other.
Very similar.
And there's going to be a lot of dancing there. That would be hilarious to listen to. I'll be honest, that would be great on commentary.
Yeah.
Because obviously you'll have Rad talking through what he's going to have going on, and you'll see how Rich comes back at that, because Rich isn't going to comment, but I'm sure there'll be some great banter goes on.
Right. What's next?
Right. Well, what we have next is we have Jay Mitchell versus Danny Graves. Jay Mitchell's using...
No, you didn't.
Danny Graves is using Basileans. I didn't do anything. I just pressed a button that said allocate data.
Yeah. We were there when you pressed it. Me and Steve both talked to you about the actual doing of, so...
I put Jay Graves. I've now retyped that.
Jay Graves.
That's work. Go on, Bob, with these stats.
Not yet. Right, there we go.
No stats.
Yeah, I've got stats. Somewhere. Right. Danny Graves, the self-proclaimed best Kings of War player in the world.
Stop being a bitter shit.
Australia notwithstanding. He's ranked 12th in the UK. He's first place free dwarf. He's played 6 factions. Unfortunately, for some unknown reason, I've not actually written down which factions he's played. Free dwarfs is one of them, hopefully.
Just basically free dwarves, isn't it?
Yeah. He's attended 12 events, 5 podiums, 58.8% win rate, which is 30 wins out of 51 games, 4 draws, 17 losses. 60% kill rate, and he's using Basileans.
Basilean.
A lot of Basils.
Basilians.
Basilian.
Basilians.
Basilians.
Well, if you want to know, he says, flicking quickly through the papers, there are 3 Basilean armies, tying for top with the Empire of Dust. I'll do a quick.
Filth.
I'll do a quick thing.
Our main filth so far has been Basileans.
Basileans and Empire of Dust. We have, out of the 24 players, we have a total of 18 armies represented, because we've doubled up on Forces of the Abyss, Undead, 3 EOD, 3 Basileans, 1 NA, 1 Halfling.
Tell us who you're not seeing.
No, I'm not. You have to work it out, don't you? One League of Warrior, Barringer, Riftforged Folks, Trident Realms, Twilight Kin, Abyssal Dwarfs, Elves, Forces of Nature, Oogle, Bromark, and Sylvankin.
It's really weird there's not more dwarf players. I'm not going to lie.
Not represented.
So strong.
Not represented are Free Dwarfs, which is unfortunate. Goblins, which is
weird,
unusual. Kingdoms of Men, which is no surprise to anybody. Night Stalkers.
Yeah, we've no Mike this year, though, have we?
Night Stalkers.
So bitter. I want to say formally, Andy Marshall, you absolute swine, not even turning up, having beaten me.
Yeah, he denied you a place and then didn't turn up.
The whole year playing that army.
Tactical cock block there.
Yeah.
Ogres aren't turning up. Tier 1 army.
We have no ogres.
Crazy. What?
Orcs not turning up because nobody.
Well, yeah, you've got Riftforged, haven't you? So.
But Ratkin slaves, salamanders, and the herd. So there's 10 armies that aren't represented out of the 24. I mean, obviously, I would have expected 4 armies not to be represented, but all these people have colluded to double up.
Bloody power gamers. Anyway.
No, it's terrible, isn't it?
Speaking of power gamers, Danny Graves.
Go
on, Jan, you take this one.
Oh, go on. I'll do Danny's. Let me just pull it up on my big screen down here so I don't have to use my glasses. Okay.
I want to be Danny Graves when I grow up, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, bless you.
Does that mean you're not going to grow up?
You want to grow up?
What's that growing up
Peter
business?
Yeah, I was going to say he's like one of the lost boys.
Yeah, totally. Right, so we have Men-at-Arms Spearman, 1 Horde of as a veteran command with the Aegis Fragment, which I don't know what Aegis Fragment does.
It means you can Iron Resolve 2 once per game.
Okay. Then we have Sisterhood Infantry, a Horde with the Aegis Fragment again, so Iron Resolve 2, and Blessing of the Gods, because we just need to elite everything.
Yep.
You've got Sisterhood Scouts, 3 troops, all with bows, steady aim, nasty, horrible scouty viciousness. You've got a Horde of Aloe with the Helm of the Drunken Ram. You've got 2 troops of Ger Panthers just to jump out there and, nibble stuff. Paladin Knights, a regiment of with the Aegis Fragment again, and the Brewer Strength. 1 Phoenix as it comes. Samachris, Mother of Phoenixes, Yowie. Had to do that, didn't you, there? Let's see if we've got the trilogy going on. Come on, computer.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's mine. I'm not.
What do you need?
Up. I put mine on my own big stream. Julius, Dragon of Heaven. And
he has got both of them.
Yeah.
He has. And then we've got the Ogre Palace Guards Captain.
But
so,
only 1 Phoenix.
Just the 1 Phoenix. He's not even trying, is he, to be a power gamer? I mean,
he's been a nice boy.
doesn't need more than one
Yeah,
Phoenix.
but
He's got
it's
the other two
Samacriss.
Basilean crutches.
Do you want a little pop, a little fluff fact for you? That Samacriss was named after one of the people that bid on the version 1 Kickstarter to get their name into the game, and it was a couple whose names were Sam and Chris.
Chris. Oh, cute.
And that's how we got Samacriss. I don't know who they are. I would love to know who Samacriss are, who Sam and Chris
It'd be lovely
are.
if they'd actually get in touch, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be so cool to find out what they're doing with their lives? Probably playing 40k. Anyway, should we move on to James?
Thankfully, they weren't called Dill and Doe.
Oh, stop it, Bob.
So this is super fast, super hitty. It's it's a Basilean list. How many units is it? It's 13 units, which is normal for Basilean.
13 and unit strength 24 for Danny.
Pretty typical. The only thing that's not typical about this list, I say, is 3 troops of Sisterhood Scouts. Sisterhood Scouts, I think, are really good. Really good. 3 troops of those is quite powerful. So I like the list, but it is facing.
I like it. I've seen Danny's play style and it matches it.
So it is adorable. Correct, Steph. Jay Mitchell. So Jay, they are taking. I'll do this one. I've done one for a while. Jay's Jay's been playing pretty much this list. I think this entire year, if not the last year as well. A horde of tall spears with hammer measured force, 2 regiments of glade stalkers, a regiment of Therenian sea guard with the orb of towering presence. Not seen that before. So I take it back. They have not been playing this for the last year. This is slightly different. It's a variation of theme. So orb of towering presence on a regiment of Therenian sea guard. I think that is their token carrying unit. They put something in to carry like a loot token, right? Regiment of Silver Breeze cavalry with helm of the drunken ram. That's unusual, I'm going to say, on Silver Breeze, giving Silver Breeze more of a thunderous charge. A Quicksilver Lancer Stormwind cavalry with Brew of Strength, so that's a very, very punchy unit. A horde of Draken Riders with Boots of Striding. An Archmage with Bane Chant Lightning Bolt. A King's Champion, which is a hero who has an aura of fury for kindred, which covers most of this list. Duelist, elite, all those kind of units. 7 attacks. It's very, very nice. A noble war chariot, which you don't see very often. Argus Rodnar, who I think is great. And Tidarian Dragon Lord, who I think is way overpriced for what you get, but he is the punchier of the elf dragons. But I know Jay really likes that unit. It's a big old dragon, right? But I think the elf dragon on its own is fantastic. Upgrading it to Tidarian, I think is wasted points in my opinion. Just to get brutal and more crushing and stuff. So 12 units, which is normal for elves, 24 unit strength. It's a light force. It's it's a shooty, hitty, mixed arms elf list, right? It's Jay's absolute signature list. I think they are very good with it. They are playing Danny's very, very fast Basilean list. I think it's going to be who punches who first, who shuts down the shooting, and then be over by about turn 3. Thoughts, lads?
I don't know.
Jay, by the way, has been moaning in the Masters chat about, everyone's going to bet against me. So we should universally bet for him, for them. Just to
no, because I've already warned him that's a self-fulfilling
range.
Mm-hmm.
That's 67 hits it and do out of range.
He's very, very strong ranged force, right? Very strong ranged force.
I think they are in with a good chance.
I think it was a great game. Another great game.
Too many great games.
Oh, it's Masters. All good players.
But it is Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we moving on to the next one?
You got
go on him.
Versus low defense as well. So yeah. Danny's got a couple of defense 5, but most of it is defense 3.
That's true.
Well,
Which is not great against ranged, right? So all that shooting is going to really, if he doesn't get in immediately, it's going to get torn up. So be interesting.
We shall see. We shall see. So the next game is Pete Wrench with his Forces of the Abyss 2024.
Yeah.
If it's the same list, he spanked me with those.
Against our other foreign player, the amazing Gallic Steve Tuno.
Love Steve Tuno.
And a massive surprise to me is using Empire of Dust.
What?
Yeah. So, here we go. Who did I say it was? Pete Wrench.
It's Pete Wrench versus Steve Tuno.
So, they're all here somewhere. Steve Tuno, ranked 16th, so he's just in. He's also the top Salamander player, and he's played one faction all year, which is Salamanders, and he's come to the Masters with Empire of Dust.
Makes sense, I think, somehow. Don't know.
You very Gallic shrug, man. He's played 5 events, 1 podium, 65.4% win ratio, 17 out of 26 games, and 69.7 kill ratio. And we have to look for Mr. Wrench. Pete Wrench, ranked 17th. So the
Maybe
next
Salamanders can get their tetanus shots so they can come over the border.
Yeah. Well, Pete's from Cheltenham War Chiefs, so
yeah. Pete's a good guy.
Known him for a long, long time, way back in the War and Fantasy Battle days. Still doesn't like me.
Oh, well,
you're hard to like, Bob, to be fair, you know. So.
We properly
It's not
abuse
easy to like. Nobody can do it.
Right,
Pete's brilliant because we properly abuse each other when we play. Properly abuse each other.
Forces of the Abyss and Basileans he's played. He's bringing Forces of the Abyss. He has played 8 events, 3 podiums, 60% win rate, 21 out of 35 games, 66.4% kill rate. It should be interesting. I mean, who's up first, Pete?
Yeah. Bastard list.
Who wants to take this one?
I'll go. Lower Abyssal Horde. Horrible target. 2 gargoyles. Nice bit of troops. Chaff-ups. 2 Moloch hordes. Horrible. 2 Abyssal Horseman Reg. Again, nasty. 1 with sharpness. Makes it even worse. Hitting on 2s. Filthy. Horrible. Elwyn a Drunken Ram. A Seductress with Gnome Glass Shield because
They come with that. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't let you put one on companion if you don't have the Gnome Glass Shield.
Correct.
Yeah. Abyssal Warlock with Orbitarian Presence, so he gets a bit more boost on unit strength. Firebolt, Bane Chant, Veil of Shadows. And 2 Archfiends of the Abyss.
Double Archfiend.
One's elite and one's got Strider.
Jeez.
I just 11 unit strength. I mean, 11 units.
That's no drops at all.
No,
but then there's a couple of very elite.
I love this list.
And
I love the absolute balls
like
of the man taking double dragons.
I love Pete, so it's
Great guy.
automatically taken for granted that, pat on the back, go for it.
I must say the shout out to Pete as well. If you're gonna attract sarcasm, at least spell it right.
The sarcasm. Nice sarcasm because of the abyss is the rift. It's a rift.
He's trying a pun or play on words.
Tis a pun or play on words. Super positional, super fast, incredibly punchy list that is surprisingly durable.
And he's good with it as well.
Yeah.
He's very. This is his pre-nerf. Sorry, his pre-boost abyssals. revamped for the new meta, right? So there's none of this new fancy schmancy stuff in it. It's just all the shit that he took before, but it's all better than it was because it all got upgraded. So he's not bothered with any berserkers. He don't want to paint any more models because the man is lazy. Let's face it. So he's just gone with what he's got. But it's just even better. And he was already good with it. Anyway. Yeah. And against that, just the night. Steve Tono, I mean, Pete Wrench, already a nice bloke. Steve Tono, just the loveliest man, right?
He is absolutely fantastic. And I love that he's declared what he's going to be playing next season in one fell swoop.
I have no idea the man even had more than one army. I'm fairly certain.
I mean,
this must be what he's been working up to for the entire year.
Yeah, but he is to Anglo-French cow relations what Officer Crabtree was to hello. It's just one of those things.
It's fabulous.
This is my Empire of Doost.
Empire of Doost. Good morning. So I'll go for this one.
He also didn't get the mummies memo as well, which the other guys were. They were just, don't forget your 4 mummies. I'm in, don't worry. And Steve's like that. Je ne comprends pas.
Yeah. Let us go for the enslaved guardians as well. So we have an infantry regiment of skeleton spearmen. Yeah. An infantry horde with the casket of the damned of revenants.
Scouting.
Yes. A large infantry horde of the shooting enslaved guardians with the big crossbows. Nasty people. Enslaved guardians, the fighty style. So we've got one horde as they come and one horde with boots of striding. A troop of revenant cavalry with skirmishers' boots to make them nimble but can't march. Okay. Scavengers, a swarm regiment. Soul snare. Bone Giant, Undead Worm, and the Monolith. I think it automatically starts off with that in the Neo-D list. Cursed High Priest with Surge and Veil of Shadows, so he's obviously worried about shooting armies. Sebek Ray the Accursed with Heal 5, Surge 8. So what's he? He's just an infantry hero. What does Glory for the Mighty Dead and Glory of the Accursed do? Anybody?
Give me a second. I'll get to it.
Steve, we love you.
Glory of the Cursed is for each other friendly core skeleton unit within 6 inches. You may re-roll 1 die that failed to hit with Heal and Surge up to a maximum of 2.
Okay.
Glory for the Mighty Dead is after casting Heal, you may immediately cast Surge on the same target.
All right. Clever. And then we have Arcanton.
Arcanton?
Arcanton,
you're right, yeah.
Arcanton, Captain of the Dead Seas. Surge 3, Windblast 4, Wither and Perish. Ooh.
Wow. I've never seen this unit. The Stormcaller is once per turn after using a spell. Arcanton may use a different spell against the same or a different target.
Right. 14 total units, 23 unit strength. Could this be the Joker in the pack?
Has this just had a buff in the latest lineup?
Guys, I don't understand this list.
It seems very haphazard. Is probably the word. Probably not the word I should use, but it's the word that instantly springs to mind.
Steve has played using lizards for a long time, so
I know, but I mean, a long range shooting unit, a troop of revenant cavalry, and flaying chaff.
No, what I was meaning was he's very good at putting completely random things together.
I think Steve's a very, very good player. He's been at Masters the last 2, if not the last 3 years. I think he really knows his stuff. He's a little bit like Cy Brand, right? So they play differently to how other players play. They play these kind of this kind of real kind of MMU kind of MMU?
Yeah, MMU completely.
Well, apparently painted and borrowed the EOD army for Clash of Kings this year from Ulysses Masons.
Ulis. So I think there's probably some tasty stuff here. I would struggle with this list, but I think it's going to be really interesting. I think against
he's played with it, practiced with it, and knows what it, he's obviously put it together with a plan. So because he's that sort of player. He doesn't turn up at tournaments randomly and just trust the luck. He's obviously come up with a plan. It'd be interesting to find out what the plan is. Enigmatic as it is.
Scottish player for the last few years. This guy doesn't come down here for the hell of it. So yeah, he's going to a practice with this list.
I mean, I have played Steve, and he is a really good player.
Times.
I played Pete. He's pretty good as well. See, Pete's army does what it says on the tin, right? It positions.
Pete's
it rushes
army
you.
always does.
Absolutely crushes you.
Yeah.
This list, I've no idea. There's so many pieces. It could Pete's list. Let's see what happens. But this could be really interesting.
This could be one to watch. I must admit. I mean,
Steve is very good at dancing around things and getting into the right places. He tends to take the right primes. He's very good at finding the moment to get in and get an angle.
Yeah, I think
I think he will be with us.
It's going to be
really
on.
Make a difference.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight game.
He's had to use a lot of stuff with Surge in the past with his salamanders.
Yeah, he uses a lot of fire elementals.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see how this works out, and I wish them both the best of luck.
I think that will be a good game.
I've not seen one matchup yet that I don't think will be a good game.
So, we've got one more to go, actually.
Yeah,
one more.
Going. Let's get it on with
the last matchup. What's the last matchup?
Is Tim Huitt with the Order of the Brother Mark versus Crabstick with his dwarfs. Sorry, Rob Hudson.
So Tim Huitt's playing what? Sorry, he's playing
Order of the Brother Mark.
Brother Mark.
Yeah, in case anybody wants to know why we call Rob Hudson Crabstick, he fell asleep outside the venue for a Weymouth tournament in the middle of June, and we saw him cooking, and we decided we weren't going to be kind and turn him over because he's an arse. So he ended up one half pink, one half white, therefore Crabstick.
Nice. Order of the Brother Mark, Rob Hudson. Is it Hudson? Have I got it right?
Hudson, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows him as Rob James on the Facebook pages.
Tim Huitt, he is ranked 94th. He has played one faction for the 24 season, which is Order of the Brother Mark. He is the top Order of the Brother Mark player. I'm not going to tell you how many other Brother Mark players there are. He's turned up to 4 events, 0 podiums. He has a 36.8 win rate, 7 out of 19 games, and it's still better than mine. He has a 59.2 kill rate. Crabstick.
All right, Crabstick. I'll give him a ball punch for you.
Nut punch.
Dick punch, actually.
Come on, focus.
I was trying not to go there.
It is actually written on here as Crabstick. He's ranked 8th, so he must have done something right for once in his life. 3 factions, dwarfs, Rift Forged Orcs, and for one tournament, he actually claimed to be a free dwarf player.
Yeah, I played in that tournament. I think he stopped because I beat him.
Yeah. 13 events, 1 podium, 40% win rate, 22 out of 55, 60.5% kill rate. And he's the top dwarf player, which isn't he's a low bar. Oh!
Now, stop
To be fair, not as low as Brother Mark.
I know some dwarf players that tried really hard.
Oh. That was a pun or a play on words, in case you hadn't
Yeah,
noticed.
just a bit.
Right, Tim. Timmy McTin. Here we go. Brother Mark, why is this a list? Please, can we kill this army immediately?
Oh, but you
It's
know
nice
it.
stuff.
You love it
I want
already.
them all
Come on, admit it.
Murdered.
People
I want
like
them all
Tim wouldn't be able to
murdered.
get into the Masters then. That's prejudicial.
He's got a regiment and 2 legions of penitent. What a G. I already love this list. A regiment and 2 legions of villain penitents.
Awesome.
A horde of paladin monster slayers with brewer strength. A horde of villain bowmen. 2 regiments of the abyssal hunt, one with the striding boots. A troop of skirmishers. Skirmishers. Wait, remember the skirmisher rules from historic? Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Keep
Why do you think I had the Mongol army?
Bob's not allowed to talk about those days. Keep
Just
going.
cracked 2 hours, so I'm going to push on. 2 arbalests, a chaplain with battle hymns, which gives them rallying one for villains and an aura of fury for villains.
For somebody who doesn't like this army, you know a lot about it.
I tell you what, it's like
I'm sure
England's
he's
actually
faced it.
good. Heal 2. High Chaplain Augustus, who comes with Bane Chant 3 and Heal 5. He's got a bunch of things about rallying and cleanse, so he's basically a Basilean chaplain. An Ogre Palace Guard Captain, and a High Paladin on Dragon with the Aegis Fragment. Aegis of the Elohi, so he gets up to Iron Resolve 3 at some point. Tasty. That's a really tasty dragon. That's a crunchy list. I'm not going to lie. It's not bad, is it?
1719 nerve and Iron Resolve 3. That's just obscene, isn't it? Oh, you've plinked me. Hang on a second.
No, you haven't.
I'll just ignore that then, shall I?
All right. Against that, we have Rob's dwarves. I'm really surprised we haven't got more dwarves. I'm not being funny. At least he hasn't just taken Dan Smith's list from Clash, which is what everyone else does for dwarves, right? Because it's the optimal dwarf list. So, who wants to?
Go on, I'll do it. I've not done one for a while.
You're not going to let me do it.
Crabsticks list. We have 3 regiments of Iron Guard. We have Air Steel Behemoth with Gollop's Fury as it comes.
Crutch.
I'll just move this down. We've got the Berserker Lord with the Norm Glass Shield on a Brock mount. We've got Fairbear Ironheart with his hand cannon, dirty sod. Then you've got 3 hero dwarf lords on large beasts.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not nice. That amount of stuff flying at you is not pleasant. Then you've got
it's the formation, isn't it? The whole
the
formation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got the Bullwalkers.
Times 2.
1, 2 Bullwalkers of the Royal Guard as regiments with throwing mastiffs for the extra little bit of pointage. And then you've got Ironclad with throwing mastiffs and a Hammer of Measured Force because he's just dirty. And then you've got the Dwarf Army Standard Bearer with Shroud of the Saint because he wants to add some healing in there. And that gives you 13 units and a unit's 24.
Nice.
Dirty.
So, and just notice how many throwing mastiffs there are in this army. I think this is Danny Graves' list, isn't it? Is this Danny Graves' list?
That wouldn't
Close
surprise
enough, right?
me in the least.
Oh, that was Free Dwarfs, right? So it's kind of the dwarf version of the Free Dwarf list. The only thing it's missing, it's not got what's he called, the dwarf hero that's not Faber Ironheart that is equally gross. It's gonna come to me any minute now. So Garrick Heavy Hand. We've got Garrick with his Radiance of Life and Regen, right?
Oh. Why
it's
not
pretty
just throw
gross.
Rawdin in as well?
Yeah. So he's got a Shroud of the Saint healing army standard bearer, and then he's got Ironclad. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mastiffs.
A Berserker Lord with Dome Glass Shield. Filth.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
It is that non-glass shield on there that's like an auto take of recent, yet again. It has become the thing.
And what was it? 13 drops, 24 unit strength.
Yeah.
So I think it should be a fun game. I think. Go on, Jan.
No, I was going to let you.
I think Tim's got his work cut out for him because dwarves are, I'm going to say, a little bit too strong right now. Playing dwarves, I think they have so many tools, so much defense 6. I think Tim's going to be wanting to get his monster slayers into that behemoth if he can. But yeah, a challenge for Tim, definitely. I think it depends which Rob you get, right? With I love Rob Hudson, but if you get
one day he's a different person. Yeah, if he actually turns up with the tournament head on, he's a different guy.
It could be a real contender. Yeah.
Yeah. On the Masters weekend, we all know that everybody is turning up for a top table game every game. There's never any doubt about that. You're not going to be getting low-end games. You're not just going to get a walkover and a breeze through. These are top table games, full stop.
I just want to say Bob's just posted a scenario pack to the Masters chat. I'm just gonna let me just share it. Hang on.
Oh, has he shared that one?
He shared the appropriate one. I love you, Rob. I want you to know you're my favourite human.
Go on, share
There's
it.
been a lot of chat. So those who don't know is that I wrote the Rack and Ruin scenario, and there's been some chat about how much certain people hate the Rack and Ruin scenario.
And we've all been putting the finger at Mark.
2 days, and then Bob's just posted this as the scenario pack for Masters. Game 1. Look at the game. The map is like totally open center.
Yeah, that's dirty
Anyway,
and filth.
Game 2.
Rack and Ruin.
Game 3, everyone. Let's go game 4. Yep, cool.
I must admit, I was in a rush, and I did at the end just put the same map out for the last 3 games. But
shame on you. Anyway, because people, I guess people want to go to bed, including me, at some point. What is the scenario for game 1 of Masters?
The first scenario for game 1 is hold the line.
Hold the line.
And I will be posting up the correct scenario pack both on the chat and on Fanatics in the next couple of minutes.
I'll see if I can find it to put it on screen, but it's quite a way up there in the chat. So give me a minute.
Yeah,
so Rack and Ruin, and
I would have added it, but
I'll get it at some point. So Rack and Ruin. Are we going to save the rest of the scenarios for on the day, or are we giving people a preview beforehand? It's up to you guys. I don't mind.
I think we're going to post out the scenarios, but
So
we'll give general viewers just the one. I think we'll let the Masters decipher it a little bit before we get to the end of the week. So
they'll want to see it because you know what they're like.
Oh God, yeah, I know. They'll be sulking if we don't let them. So we'll post it out to the Masters mob sometime along with the lists. We might wait a day or two just so they've watched this, and we'll see how we go. Thank you, everybody, and cheers, Steve.
All right, there you go. I found it. This is your map.
Yeah. Bless.
So yes, it is ever so slightly different, but it is hold the line.
It's hold the line, and you got told that. We had a big discussion in the Masters chat group where he wasn't allowed to leave the line open. So we've kind of covered that line. Good luck to anybody playing it. Enjoy trying to fathom it out.
Should be fun. Look forward to seeing you all next weekend. Should
See
be
you
good.
Friday,
Oh,
Steve.
God, is it that
and
quick?
Mark.
Yeah.
And
There's a
we've got
spoon.
a bar. Confirmed,
spoon.
we've got a bar.
Just on Saturday. But
Oh, yeah, go on, Bob. Show that off again. You just
There
missed
you go.
it.
For those of you who aren't confident in getting the one of the lovely top prizes, that's the spoon for the Masters.
Other way round.
All the way around. There we go. King's of War spoon. There we go.
And we will be posting up pictures of all the prizes during the week just to keep you following. And thank you all. Cheers for tonight.
Cool.
See you later.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.